Hello and welcome back for another Cricut DIY. I've wanted to make this custom table setting for years, but I have been limited with my Cricut since it can only cut up to 24 inches. But in today's video, I'm going to share a new Cricut hack so you can easily DIY this for the holidays. This Cricut table setting is perfect for holiday gatherings, DIY weddings. The possibilities are endless and it is incredibly customizable, allowing you to personalize with your names, favorite quotes, graphics, and more to fit the theme of your event. For this project, we'll need a few supplies, all which are linked down in the video description, along with the font and SVG I used for today's project. First, I cut my craft paper into 2 strips, about 11.5 inches wide, and however long you need to fit your table. Mine is about 82 inches long. Then I set my plates and I mark the center where I want the names with the pencil. Then I tear everything down since I'm going to be using my Cricut on this same table. Now heading over to my computer, I already have the font downloaded, but I need to download the SVG. And now both the font and the SVG that I am using today are included in a monthly font subscription from Creative Fabrica that you can try for free using my link in the video description, or you can always purchase them individually. In Cricut Design Space, I had the first name in and making a few adjustments, changing the font and sizing it to about 7 by 2.5 inches. I had the rest of my names in, and these will already be adjusted to match the first. I also changed the material color from gray to black. Now I ungroup everything to weld each letter together. This will help create my stencil. Now I upload the SVG to Cricut Design Space. I'm using the 4th one in the file. Then I adjust the size. Mine ended up being about 4.5 by 5.5 inches. Once I have my SVG sized, I go ahead and duplicate that and flip it for the other side. Then I duplicate the graphics and attach them to each name. Now that my names are ready, I change the operation from a basic cut to pin. Now I click the Make button, taking me to the screen where I move the names onto new mats till each name is on its own. I have 6 names, so I will have 6 different mats. Then I arrange the names to the 12-inch mark, which is halfway on these mats, leaving the design on the far left. I set the material to medium cardstock and head over to my Cricut Maker. So you're going to need a lot of space for this project, way more than you normally would, and you'll see why here in a minute. Remember that pencil mark we made on our paper? Well, I find that, line that up on the 12-inch mark on my mat, and I feed the excess paper first through the machine. I add the Cricut pen after my paper is in place so I don't accidentally mark my paper feeding it through. Then I resume like normal and I let the Cricut write out my stencil. The first name will be the person sitting on the far right, then working our way over to the left, so arrange your names accordingly. Once my first name is stenciled, I eject the entire project and remove it from the mat. Then I move my mat down to the next hash mark, trying to keep my paper as straight as possible with the mat. Again, I feed the paper through till I can continue my project like normal. I continue doing the same with the last name, and this time we will have a lot of excess paper to feed through. This is why I cut it down to that 11.5 inches wide, because it has to pass through those two rubber wheels. Now that this side of the table is done, I do the exact same with the other side. Then I sit down to fill in the names with a Sharpie. With this design and font I picked, each name took about 8 to 10 minutes to fill in, so this can take a while, especially if you're creating this for a lot of guests. I reset the table and trim the ends to make it look like a single piece of craft paper. I love how this DIY turned out, and I have a feeling that this will become a holiday tradition for us. Let me know any questions that you have down in the comments section. Make sure to check out more Cricut hacks and DIYs on my channel, and I will see you again soon.